All right, shalom and good afternoon. This is Brother Randy here, citizens of YouTube. Wanted to do a quick discussion and following up on a couple of things. Now, sometimes I do post videos of people doing videos and content on YouTube. And the reason why I do that is because I think that they have something relevant to say. And I do this with all manners, whether it's social, political, economic, or spiritual. And I think that it's important that they're saying something that you need to hear. Now, I am big on if you disagree with somebody, you have a right to disagree because with 7 billion people on the face of planet Earth, you're not going to agree with everybody's philosophies, perspectives, viewpoints, how they view the world, how they think about certain issues, whether it's spiritual, political, economic, or social. But the beautiful thing about this country is that we have a First Amendment and we have the right to express our own opinions, philosophies, perspectives, viewpoints, without being arrested. Well, as it stands now, without being scrutinized by government. And it's often stated that, and it's the truth, that everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but everybody's not entitled to their own facts. And sometimes you'll even find in a situation where a lot of people, they will give their opinion and they will pass it off as a fact. And that's okay as well because they have the right to do so. And it's okay to disagree with people. Now, there is not a lot of people that I would say that I agree with everything that they say. Now, that's okay. That is absolutely okay. I don't have to agree with everything that comes out of another man's or another woman's mouth. I mean, it just doesn't work that way. And when you disagree, that's healthy. That's okay. But you don't have the right, or if you may feel as though you have the right to attack that other person just because they stated their opinion. Um, uh, I personally don't believe that that's right. However, if you want to do that, if you want to exert your energy, because that requires negative energy when you attack somebody because they don't agree with a certain point or philosophy or perspective that you've taken or that they've taken. Again, I don't agree with everything that everybody says here, in my personal life, public life, or YouTube as a whole. But it's one of those things where you have to take the meat and throw away the bones, and sometimes it's more healthy to just disagree and not state your disagreement because it brings strife and it brings discord, and as well within your spirit it requires a certain amount of negative energy in order to exert that. I was speaking to a person um, uh, who expressed a disagreement with somebody else. And I asked this individual, I said, well, okay, all right, well, you disagree. Well, what do you think is going to change, or what do you think is going to come out of this disagreement? Do you think this individual is going to change, or that individual is going to change as a result of that disagreement? It could be a minute disagreement. Um, and they said, well, no, I don't think that, that situation or that perspective is going to change on the other side. And I said, it's good. You were able to discern what the situation was, and so that you can keep your pace. You can keep your peace and you can move forward. And so, that's one of the things that I would definitely stress to people is that just because you see something or somebody saying something or taking a particular stance on something, it's okay to disagree. It's definitely healthy. But where a lot of people go wrong is that they exert this energy trying to persuade the other individual to come over to their side in a particular matter. And typically, It's been my experience that that's not going to work, especially when a person feels as though they're right on some things or if they're right on everything. Now, how do you deal with a person when they feel as though they are just absolutely right on everything? Because of course we're all right in our own eyes, and we're all the sum epitome of all righteousness, understanding, truth. We just have a golden globe in our hand, and we just see everything clearly, and there's nothing that we can possibly be wrong on, and so forth and so on. And so, the idea is to keep your peace, extract information that you can learn from, and if you disagree, disagree. It's okay. But where you want to stay away from is pointless arguments, pointless going back and forth. It says, nobody on YouTube or nobody wins an online argument, because at the end of the day, one person is going to keep their opinion, another person is going to keep their perspective, and you're going to go on, and all you're going to have is contention. And we need to be building up relationships, not tearing them down, especially in the time that we're living in. So you want to definitely think from that perspective. I think it's a good route to take, especially, and a lot of people, a lot of times, if you disagree, the issues are so minute that, it's like, really? You really want to go to war with a person just because they disagree with you on, let's say, per se, Trump? Trump is a public figure. And so, as a public figure, he's all our president. So we have a right to express our opinions, our viewpoints on this particular man and what he's going to do for the country or what he's not going to do for the country. Me personally, my position has always been and always will be that if a politician is talking, if his mouth is moving, he is lying. And the best way that I can go about determining that is by going into their archives and seeing what they've stated in the past and see how it lines up to the future. And it tells me pretty much everything that I need to know about that individual's personality and what their true intent is. The best thing that you can always do is use a person's own words against them. And it's very effective because they said it. And so they have to stick to it. Now, there's certain people that out there that simply are just too good, and they're not going to be held to anything that they stated in the past. They can walk through raindrops pretty much, and these people are slick. They're good at what they do, and so this is why I always say, if you disagree with somebody, okay, all right, I disagree with you on that point. Let's move forward. We're not going to see eye to eye on this point. Let's move forward. And you always have to weigh your battles and choose your battles wisely. Very, very, very important as we're moving forward, because simply put, everybody's just not going to agree on everything. Peace.